So you may have heard me talk a little bit about my clean sleeping guide. Well, in today's video, I'm going to be exploring the eating part of the 3 E's of clean sleeping in a little bit more depth so you can get a bit more understanding of what it all means and how it impacts sleep. But before I get stuck in, let me introduce myself. I'm Jen. I'm from jenniferbutler.com.au and I'm an early parenting specialist that's dedicated to helping mothers enjoy the simple joys and intimate early days of parenthood through helping them understand, guide, and support their baby. So if that sounds like something that you're interested in, then I would love for you to subscribe to my channel so that you're notified of when I release my new videos once a fortnight on a Tuesday. Okay, so let's talk about eating. Now, when I'm talking about eating, I'm talking about both milk intake, whether that's breast or bottle, and also food intake for the baby or toddler that is eating food. So for babies who haven't yet started on solids, so say from 0 to 6 months or at least 0 to about 4 or 5 months, the focus is really on milk intake. And the biggest key when it comes to the eating part and making sure that you're meeting the clean sleeping guides of eating is that your baby isn't going to sleep hungry. And it might seem like a no-brainer. But in our society, there is a real pressure and push for babies having set feeding times so that they fit into a routine, rather than actually feeding them as per their hunger cues or, just in a way that makes sure that their tummy is nice and full for sleep. So when I talk to parents before their babies have started solids, I talk about the need to perhaps offer a top-up feed prior to sleep. So a lot of people try and follow a feed, play, sleep routine, which is wonderful. And the idea around that was to separate feeding from sleep so that babies didn't develop habits in where they need to feed to fall to sleep. However, it is okay to feed, play, feed, sleep, and offer a top-up if your baby's hungry and wanting that, or just to offer it so that you know that they do have a full stomach before you're then trying to put them to sleep. A baby that is hungry will resist going to sleep, or they won't sleep for very long because their tummies will wake them up. So just making sure that your baby has a nice full tummy before they're going to sleep can be so important when it comes to the whole sleep picture. So once your baby has started on food, then this adds another element or layer of, consideration when it comes to looking at how food and eating impacts on sleep. So prior to introduction of foods, babies have a very immature stomach and they have just been managing either formula or breast milk when it comes to what they're eating. And those are mostly, on the whole, for most babies, pretty easily digested. Breast milk especially is incredibly easily digested. And then we introduce foods, which is a lot harder for them to digest. So what we introduce, how quickly we introduce, and our individual babies can see an impact on their sleep. So it's important to make sure that in the introduction of solids, that you are really monitoring the way your baby is tolerating a food. There's a huge emphasis on making sure that your baby doesn't have an allergy to a certain food, which is, of course, incredibly important. But what's less spoken about or watched for is just how they cope with the food. So if your baby gets very constipated or bound up by a certain food, and then that's running into the fact that at nighttime they have a stomach ache, they're not comfortable, they're not settling well, then obviously that's a food that you just perhaps want to go easy on or only introduce small amounts, or even introduce it, then give it a little bit of a break in in your baby's or toddler's overall diet until they're a little bit more ready to handle that food. So there's lots of different foods that are pro-sleep foods, that's what we would call them, and anti-sleep foods. And as a part of this video, I have actually also prepared a list of pro-sleep foods and anti-sleep foods for you to download. So if you'd like to download that, then head on over to jenniferbutler.com.au toddlers.com/food list to download your free copy. It's a great tool to have so that you know the sorts of foods that you should be encouraging in the lead up to bed and the ones that you should be steering clear of. So head on over to the website to download it. So once your baby has started on solids, then the feed, play, sleep continues. But with the introduction of a meal within that feed, play, sleep routine, it just means that your baby is going to be more full, having had a breast or bottle, having some food, and then being able to go to sleep after that. But in saying that, some babies or toddlers will still want a breastfeed or a drink of water or whatever it is prior to sleep. So it just comes around, down to their basic needs. And it does seem like a really obvious thing to say, but when we are so set on giving babies feeds at certain times and not necessarily thinking about it in the bigger picture and how it will impact their sleep, then it's just a great reminder to make sure that you are offering your baby, wherever they are in the stage of either fully breastfed or formula fed or with the introduction of solids, that you're just offering them something in the lead up to bed so that their tummy is full and they're not going down thirsty. So there you have it. There is a quick summary on the eating part of the 3 E's of clean sleeping. I hope that that's made sense and given you a bit of clarity. I would love for you to let me know in the comments below if you agree or disagree with any of the things that I've said today. And remember to subscribe to my channel and tap the bell so that you're notified of when I release my new videos once a fortnight on a Tuesday. I look forward to joining you back here. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you again soon.